Okay, so, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much for letting me come into the program. I really have enjoyed my time so far with you, and so now here's our final piece, okay? So this is gonna take us about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm gonna spend some time sort of going over what all the paperwork is here so that you're comfortable. First thing I wanna show you is that here is my, what we call our 6.2, and this is our procedural verification form. This is like our agenda.
Okay.
And this is gonna allow and make sure that the process that we're doing today, that I'm doing today with you, is gonna be the same process that's used across the state.
Okay.
So you're gonna see me sort of, reading off of this and checking through it throughout the whole process. At the end of it, I'm gonna sign it, and this is gonna indicate that we've completed the process as per After School Works New York. Is competent means today, June 8th, that you feel that you're competent, that you're well-versed in this area, and that you feel comfortable in that area with your skill set, and that means is competent. Needs more training doesn't mean you're incompetent. We don't use that language, and that's intentional. It just means that today, as of June 8th, it's an area that you probably have to keep your radar screen on just a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so that you're clear, your advisor has already voted on her advisory summary form, and so we're gonna capture those votes on here as well. And then at the end of each skill area, you're gonna vote independently from my vote.
Okay.
Okay, so you may vote needs more training, and I may vote competent, and your advisor votes competent. That's completely fine. There's no magic number, there's no formula. It's just each of us and our votes are weighted exactly the same. Is that okay? Just because you get a needs more training, it's no reason to get all panicked about it. Okay, it's just one area that maybe you need to keep your eye on. That's perfectly okay. End of this complete process, we're gonna be reading a statement and voting on that statement, and that statement we both must say you are competent.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So you okay with that?
Yes, I'm feeling a little bit less anxious now.
Okay. I wanted to show you some of the paperwork I have here. Okay? 6.2, aka agenda. Yes? Okay. This competency standards at a glance, so this looks familiar to you, I'm sure. This was chapter 2, right?
Yes.
But what we've done is we've put it in a format that is, easy for both of us to look at the same time. I'm going to kind of keep that right between us, and as we go through each of the skill areas, we're just going to refresh our memories as to what that skill area is before we have you do your overview.
Okay.
Is that okay? Okay. In addition to that, I've got, as I said, this big one. This is our profile, okay? And this is going to capture the conversations that we have today, and you're going to get a copy of this. And this is going to be real important for us because the goals that you've set and that we, make sure are captured properly are goals that you're going to need for your renewal in 3 years. So you're going to want to hold on to this. And what I tell my own students is you put this right in your portfolio or your resource file, keep it in a safe place, okay? And what we're going to do on this is we're going to talk about an overview of you as a candidate. And I really like the candidate to start the conversation and be able to sort of talk about who they are in this area. And then we're going to look at your goals and make sure that they're, accurate and what you need them to be. And then we're going to vote. We have to do that 14 times.
Okay.
So my job is to keep us on track. And so I'm going to make sure that we don't go any more than 5 minutes per skill area. Otherwise, we're going to be here very late. Neither one of us want that. In addition to that, we've got some other forms over here that I'll pass out afterwards, but I want you to know what's on the table. So the buff one is going to be an evaluation that we're going to ask you to do. This marigold one is going to be an evaluation that I'm going to do about people. The yellow is our appeals process, and we do have an appeals process. And at the end, we'll talk a little bit more about that, and you'll get that. And then finally, the renewal process at a glance. And this is something, again, that I'm going to ask you to put into that resource file, that portfolio, and I'll highlight to you a couple areas that I want you to keep your eye on. Okay, now I want to make sure that we have everything here that we're supposed to have. So the first thing is I'm going to look and make sure that you brought everything with you, and that I reviewed your portfolio, that I reviewed your resource file, and that your resource file and your portfolio had all the items in it that they needed, and they did. Okay, now we're coming down to the wire here, okay? And you had a couple needs more trainings, but that's fine, right? You thought you needed more training in guidance, and you put that as a goal that you're going to continue to get professional development on that. And I actually didn't think you needed more training there, but I kind of felt like the cognitive area, that's a little tricky for our after-school providers, so a lot of times people need more training in that, so I put in needs more training in that, but other than that, we're good to go. Now I need you to listen to a statement I'm gonna read, and this is the statement that just you and I are voting on, okay? Just you and I, because your advisor's not here, okay? The school-age credential staff person is a person is able to meet the specific needs of children and who, in partnership with families and the adult, works to nurture children's physical, social, emotional, and intellectual growth in a school-age setting, conducting him or herself in a professional and ethical manner. That's the statement that we're actually gonna vote on right now. Okay. So would you say that you are competent or you need more training in that area?
I would say that I'm confident.
Okay, and I would say you're competent too. You've done a really, really nice job, and I can really see the growth how you've grown over this year. So I'm gonna make sure I put that down on my profile. We have assessed the ability of Danette Campbell, candidate for the New York State School Age Care Credential, according to the following definition. The competent school age care professional is a person who meets the specific needs of children, nurtures children's physical, social, emotional, and intellectual development in school age care with the help of parents, families, and other adults, and who conducts him or herself in a professional and ethical manner, right?
Yes.
Candidate is competent and should be awarded the New York State School Age Care Credential. Final vote is 2-0. Yes?
Yes.
Yes! I'm making a recommendation, okay? So this packet is gonna go to ASW, and from there, they will review the packet and then forward your credential certificate to you directly.
About how long will that take?
Well, I'd like to give a 30-day window, just so that, we can get through all the paperwork, but I can tell you ASW tries to work faster than that. Okay, they want you to have that in your hand, because you worked hard for it, okay?
Yes.
So I'm gonna go back to my agenda.
Okay.
Make sure. So I read the statement, and the final votes were recorded on here, and I did review this profile, but you know what? Just for giggles, let's do it again. Make sure everything's done. It's all set. Now, I need your signature at the bottom here. And so, you're gonna sign right there, and I'm gonna sign right there. Here's your appeals process, and the appeals process is about appealing the visit. So if you don't think I did my job today properly, if you would like to appeal that because I didn't observe long enough, or you just don't think that I followed protocol the way ASW would want me to, this is the protocol that you would follow.
Okay.
This is our renewal at a glance. It's a 3-year credential, and what you're gonna see in here, what I wanna draw your attention to is we've bumped up the training a little bit more than regulations require us to, so it's 20 hours of training a year, so it's gonna be a total of 60 hours that you're gonna need over the next 3 years.
Okay.
Okay, so pay attention to that, and then the other piece is those goals, right? You've got the goals here.
Yes.
You're gonna have to show us that you've accomplished 14 of those goals, or 50%, okay? But you keep this, and you put this right into your portfolio, okay? And my checklist is gonna show me, as an endorser, what I need to send back, okay? I need to send back the advisor observation tool and their summary form. I need to send back my observation as the endorser, that goes back. I need to send the original copy of the procedural verification form. I keep a copy as an endorser, but the original goes back to ASW. I also send the top copy of the profile, which is your 6.4, that goes to ASW, endorser keeps a copy, candidate has a copy. I also am gonna send back the candidate's evaluation. I'm gonna send back the endorser's evaluation. And I'm gonna send back this checklist so that the review panel knows that everything was sent in. And along with that, I'm gonna make sure I send in my expense report. Well, congratulations.
Thank
It has
you.
been a real pleasure to get to know you, and I really, really appreciate all the time and effort that you're putting into caring for children and mentoring your staff, and maybe I'll see you again if I come back out here for an endorsement.
Okay, great. Thank you.